Welcome to the deep dive. You know this idea that our inner dialogue shapes our reality? Well, we're diving into that today. It's based on some fascinating material on Carl Jung, and I'm excited to explore this with you. And of course, expert speaker is here to help unpack it all.
It's a concept that kind of bridges psychology, spirituality, even hard science.
Right, we're going deep into this video. It's called Carl Jung Inner Talking Creates Reality. Listen every day. And this whole maximizing your potential thing really resonated with you, so I think we're onto something fascinating here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This video isn't just another self-help pep talk. It's drawing on some deep Jungian concepts and weaving them into a framework for personal growth.
Okay, let's unpack this. The video starts with this idea that inner talking is like creating a blueprint for our lives. Every thought, every word we say to ourselves becomes a thread, like in the tapestry of our reality.
Yeah, it makes you think about the quality of those threads, doesn't it? Like, if we're constantly feeding ourselves negative self-talk, it's like weaving a tapestry with rough, frayed material. The end result isn't going to be very beautiful or strong.
Wow, that's a powerful image. So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts, right? It's about recognizing the impact of our inner dialogue on our entire experience.
Exactly. And this is where Jung's idea of the shadow comes into play.
Okay.
It's not about denying those negative thoughts or pretending they don't exist. It's about acknowledging them, understanding where they come from, and integrating them into a more whole and balanced self.
So it's not about suppressing those darker threads, but maybe finding a way to weave them into something meaningful, something that adds depth and complexity to the overall design.
That's a great way to put it. The video touches on this idea of putting off the old man, which is Jung's way of saying that we need to shed those outdated, limiting beliefs that no longer serve us.
So recognizing that we've outgrown certain patterns of thinking and behaving. Those patterns might have served us at one point in our lives, but they're holding us back now.
Exactly. And it's not always easy to let go of those familiar patterns, even if they're causing us pain. The video really emphasizes the importance of awareness.
Right.
We have to actively listen to that inner voice and notice when it's repeating those old negative scripts.
So how do we start to shift those scripts? The video talks about the power of imagination. Is it really as simple as visualizing what we want and then watching it manifest in our lives?
Well, the video certainly highlights the importance of visualization, but it goes deeper than just wishful thinking. It's about using our imagination to create a vivid sensory experience of our desired reality.
So it's not just about seeing ourselves in that new job or that loving relationship. It's about feeling the emotions, hearing the sounds, even smelling the success. It's almost like a full-body immersion in our future reality.
Exactly. And the video draws a parallel to the law of attraction,
Oh,
suggesting that by focusing our thoughts and energy on what we want,
right.
we're actually attracting it into our lives.
I'm curious about that. Doesn't that put a lot of pressure on people to be constantly positive? What happens when life throws us those inevitable curveballs? Are we somehow to blame for attracting those negative experiences?
That's a great question. And it's important to remember that this isn't about blaming ourselves for everything that happens. The video is more about empowering us to take responsibility for our own thoughts and actions.
Okay, so it's not about denying the reality of challenges or difficult emotions, but about recognizing that we have a choice in how we respond to those experiences.
Right. And that choice starts with our inner dialogue. Are we going to feed those negative thoughts and allow them to spiral out of control? Or are we going to challenge them and choose a more empowering perspective?
That idea of our thoughts as a choice, as something we can actively control, is really powerful.
And it's backed up by science. The video touches on the concept of neuroplasticity, which essentially means that our brains are constantly changing and adapting based on our experiences and
Yes.
on our thought.
Wait, so you're saying that our thoughts can physically change the structure of our brains?
Absolutely. When we repeatedly think certain thoughts, we're actually strengthening the neural pathways associated with those thoughts. So the more we engage in negative self-talk, the more ingrained those patterns become. But the good news is the reverse is also true.
So by consciously choosing to focus on positive and empowering thoughts, we can literally rewire our brains for success and happiness. That's amazing.
It is pretty remarkable. And it brings us back to that idea of the tapestry.
Right.
We're not just creating a static image, we're constantly weaving and reweaving the fabric of our lives with every thought, every word, every choice.
So what kind of tapestry are you creating? That's something to think about. And we'll be back in just a moment to explore even more about the power of inner talking and how it can transform our lives.
Welcome back. So we've been exploring this idea that we are literally weaving the tapestry of our lives with our thoughts. It's a powerful image, but where do we go from here?
Yeah, you're right. It's not enough to just understand the concept. How do we actually apply this to our lives? Make those positive changes stick. The video talks about inner talking as a tool for self-transformation.
Yes, and that's where it gets really interesting. The video draws on a concept from Jung about putting off the old man, which isn't about age, but rather shedding outdated versions of ourselves.
Okay, so those old thought patterns, limiting beliefs, those become part of the old man we need to shed.
Exactly. It's recognizing that we've evolved, but our inner dialogue hasn't always kept up. We might be clinging to beliefs that were formed in childhood or during difficult times, even when they no longer serve us.
That makes sense, but how do we actually do that? It's one thing to recognize those outdated beliefs, but it's another to actually let them go.
It's a process. And the video emphasizes the power of the present moment. It's so easy to get caught up in regrets about the past or worries about the future, but the only place where we can truly create change is right now.
So instead of dwelling on what went wrong yesterday or what might happen tomorrow, we need to focus on what we're thinking and saying to ourselves in this very moment.
Precisely. Every moment is an opportunity to choose a new thought, to rewrite that old script. It's about asking yourself, what am I telling myself right now?
Yeah.
Is it kind? Is it supportive? Does it align with the person I want to be?
It's like we have this constant stream of thoughts running through our minds. And we have the power to step in and redirect that stream, to choose a different path.
Exactly. And this is where the video suggests using affirmations.
Okay.
It's not just about repeating empty phrases, but about actively choosing to focus on the qualities we want to cultivate within ourselves.
So if I want to be more confident, I should start affirming I am confident, even if I don't necessarily feel that way yet.
It might feel a little strange at first, but remember, you're literally rewiring your brain with each repetition. Those affirmations become like seeds that you're planting in the fertile ground of your subconscious mind.
I've always struggled with meditation, but this idea of using affirmations feels more accessible, more action-oriented.
And it connects back to that idea of the tapestry. By consciously choosing positive affirmations, we're weaving those stronger, more vibrant threads into the fabric of our lives.
It's not just about changing our external circumstances, though, right? It's about cultivating a more positive and joyful inner state.
Absolutely. The video highlights this beautiful cycle. Positive inner conversations lead to feelings of peace, joy, and gratitude, which in turn amplify the power of our thoughts, creating a ripple effect of positivity.
It's like a virtuous cycle where the more we focus on the good, the more good we attract into our lives.
And it's not just about personal benefit. The video reminds us that our inner dialogue doesn't exist in isolation. It impacts the world around us.
So our thoughts and energy can actually influence other people.
Think about it. When you're around someone who's constantly complaining and negative, it brings your energy down, right?
Yeah.
But when you're around someone who's optimistic and upbeat, you feel that positive energy.
It's like we're all connected by this invisible web of energy, and our thoughts and emotions are constantly sending out vibrations into that web.
Precisely. So when we choose to focus on love, kindness, and gratitude in our inner dialogue, we're not just benefiting ourselves, we're contributing to a more positive collective energy.
That's a beautiful thought. It's like our inner talking becomes a form of activism, a way to make the world a better place, one thought at a time.
That's a great way to put it. And to make this a sustainable practice, the video suggests building rituals around your inner talking. Start the day with affirmations, journal about your insights and challenges, and before bed, review your inner dialogue. How was it today? What can you learn from it? How can you improve tomorrow?
Those are great practical tips. But I'm also curious about those times when we hit roadblocks. We all face those moments when the old negative patterns resurface, those weeds in the garden of our mind. What do we do when we face that resistance? We're back and ready to kind of wrap up this deep dive into Carl Jung and this whole power of inner talking thing.
Yeah, it's been pretty fascinating, hasn't it? We've covered a lot of ground from like our thoughts shaping our reality to, the science of neuroplasticity, even the importance of shadow work.
Yeah, it's a lot to process. And, I think it's important to acknowledge that this isn't some quick fix or a magic formula. The video doesn't shy away from the challenges involved in changing those deep-seated thought patterns.
Yeah, you're right. It takes conscious effort and consistent practice. There will be times when we fall back into old habits, when those negative voices get louder than the positive affirmations.
So it's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent.
Exactly. It's about recognizing those moments when we're slipping back into those negative patterns.
Yeah.
And kind of gently redirecting our thoughts. It's like training a muscle, you know?
Right.
The more we exercise that ability to choose our thoughts, the stronger it becomes.
That analogy of training a muscle really resonates with me. We wouldn't expect to run a marathon without putting in the training, so why would we expect to transform our minds without putting in the effort?
Right. Yeah. It's a great way to think about it. And just like with physical exercise, we might experience some soreness or discomfort at first. But with time and consistency, those challenging thoughts become easier to manage. We become more resilient, more capable of bouncing back from setbacks.
It's encouraging to know that even those moments when we stumble are actually opportunities for growth. We're learning, we're adapting, we're becoming more skilled at navigating the complexities of our own minds.
And remember, it's not just about personal growth. It's about that ripple effect of our thoughts and energy on the world around us. When we choose to cultivate positivity within ourselves, we're contributing to a more positive collective energy.
I love that idea. It's like we're all part of this grand symphony, and our thoughts and emotions are the instruments. If we're playing a discordant tune, it impacts the entire orchestra. But when we harmonize our inner world, it creates a more beautiful and harmonious experience for everyone.
That's a beautiful way to put it. So, as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, I'll leave you with this question. What kind of music are you playing with your thoughts? Are you creating a melody of joy, resilience, and gratitude? Or are you stuck in a loop of negativity and self-doubt?
That's such a powerful question, and it's one we should all be asking ourselves regularly. Remember, you have the power to choose the soundtrack of your life. You have the power to rewrite those old scripts, to shed those limiting beliefs, and to step into the most authentic and empowered version of yourself.
It's a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, twists and turns, but with awareness, intention, and a little bit of kindness towards ourselves, we can create a life that is truly a masterpiece.
That's a beautiful note to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the power of inner talking.
It's been my pleasure.
Remember to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.